7 Action News at 6 starts right now.
Now at 6, tracking severe weather.
Not one, but 2 rounds of severe storms possible. The main concern is Tuesday evening and Tuesday night. But I'll tell you when they could get started earlier than that.
The unseasonably warm weather creating an uphill battle on the slopes.
We have an ice rink in our yard, but that isn't doing well this year either. So we've been taking advantage of the ski hill.
How ski resorts and winter sports are struggling without snow.
Voices behind the vote. Michigan in the national spotlight ahead of tomorrow's presidential primary.
We're hitting the road, talking to voices across Southeast Michigan about what's driving them to the polls.
But we begin with Metro Detroit facing a severe storm threat.
Storms are moving in overnight. We are talking hail and wind, and we're also in for a big warm-up.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Rexroth joins us now with a look at the big change in the weather ahead. Dave?
Those record highs tomorrow are going to fuel some of the storms the second round in the evening and overnight. But the first round, as Carolyn said, comes late tonight into the morning. We're at 50. It's about 10 degrees warmer in Fort Wayne. It's about 10 degrees warmer in Indy. And temperatures have been hitting the 80s out here in Missouri. So there's a lot of warmth coming this way. The same storm system, but it's so energized, we'll get 2 rounds of storms. This is the storm energy tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. You got to start watching in the morning here for the first round to come through. Bit of a lull for a while, then it flares back up again. This is 6 o'clock again, but this time in the evening. So early and late storms, the later batch could be a little tougher. Here's 5 o'clock in the morning. You see things develop quickly, move through. This is 7 o'clock through about 10 o'clock or so, the first batch in here. And then this is in the evening hours, 7 o'clock again out to the west. This is more widespread. This is the potential to be a bigger problem as we go through the action there until about midnight or so. So the first round, hail and winds concerns, not real high concerns, but still concerns. The second round in the evening and at night, hail could get large enough to be 2 inches in some areas, especially our southern counties. Winds could be a problem, and there is a low risk with the wind field setting up for some circulation here to have a tornado. It would be isolated if we do, but this is wild for February for sure.
It sure is. Thank you, Dave. And as we follow this severe storm chance, you can download the free 7 app to your phone or tablet and stay ahead of the weather in your neighborhood with the 7 First Alert radar.
All right, if you love winters in Michigan, seeing that pretty snow all piled up outside, you've probably been a bit disappointed this season.
And while we have had a few heavy snowfalls, it's still one of the most challenging winters for ski resorts, even if they can make their own snow.
7 Action News reporter Kimberly Craig is talking to people about the many faces of Mother Nature.
When you think of the wild winter weather we've had, look no further than the Shiawassee Sledding Hill here in Farmington. Just last March, it was full of kids sledding. Now, not a flake in sight, as Michiganders wonder what happened to the snow.
It's very warm, kind of odd.
It's beautiful. The weather's so beautiful, warm, loving it.
Are you missing the snow?
Not me, not no more. Not at 75.
And while a lot of people are digging the warmer winter weather we're having, it's been a bummer for those who love ice fishing and sledding. The Timber Ridge ski area on the west side of the state has already called it quits for the season, writing on Facebook that due to the extremely warm weather, they're unable to get the slopes open again.
Just don't get to play outside in the snow as much.
I'll take the sunshine and come to the snow when I want to come here.
Thankfully, snowboarders and skiers can still find their happy place at Mount Brighton.
We have an ice rink in our yard, but that isn't doing well this year either. So we've been taking advantage of the ski hill.
I come over here and mess around whenever I can, just try to pass the time and just have fun, you know?
This season has been one for the books, for sure. It's been one of the more challenging seasons in a long time for us.
Thankfully, at many Michigan ski areas like Mount Brighton, they're able to make snow, but even that heavily depends on the humidity and temperatures that need to be 28 or below.
We make snow at every turn that we can. We're set up to make snow this Wednesday night, which we typically don't have to make snow this late in the season, but we're very lucky to have a strong snowmaking system that can rebound quickly.
Nick Nurbin is with Travel Michigan.
I think resorts have been looking at trends, longer term trends in climate to make sure they are maximizing their opportunities. And a lot of resorts across the state have made significant investments in snowmaking to make sure that when they do have opportunities to make snow, to welcome visitors for skiing and snowboarding, that they're taking full advantage.
There's a lot of conversation throughout Michigan ski resorts about how hard this season was.
It's so warm out here. We're just having fun and just enjoying it.
Still enjoying Michigan.
Absolutely.
No matter what.
In Brighton, Kimberly Craig, 7 Action News.
An update tonight as the search goes on for a man who stole a car with a child inside.
The mother of that toddler is speaking out. Little Kimahani King is safely back home by mom's side. She was found unharmed hours after police issued a weekend Amber Alert.
The 3-year-old was sleeping in a car left running when it was stolen at a gas station on Detroit's west side late Saturday. Her grandmother ran out but could not stop the thief. The child's mom wants that man caught.
I hope y'all really do catch him though, for real. So I don't want that to happen to no other family. Turn yourself in, like that's bold, like you took a car and my whole child.
Such a scary situation. Well, police are asking for help to identify that suspect. If you have any information, call Detroit Police or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP.
Thank goodness she got her child back, right? All right, a tragic update tonight in the shooting of an 11-year-old girl in Detroit.
Lamara Glenn has passed away days after she was shot in the head while sleeping inside her home. Now, Lamara was struck in a drive-by shooting, and police believe the suspects in this shooting are linked to an auto theft ring and that the suspects were targeting someone inside the home. 3 people were charged last week in the shooting. Today, we learned 19-year-old Herschel Marion Jr. has also been charged. The Wayne County prosecutor says charges for the suspects will be upgraded now that Lamara has passed away. Okay, now to Michigan's presidential primary. Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson saying today more than 1 million people have already cast their ballot through early voting and absentee ballots. President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump are looking to repeat their past primary victories. Our own Brian Abel is joining us now with the headlines to watch during tomorrow's primary.
Well, Mike, Carolyn, let's start on the Republican side, shall we? Former President Trump looking to add another primary win, moving him just that much closer to becoming his party's nominee. And Michigan is the final major race before next week's Super Tuesday, when more than a dozen states will be holding elections. And Nikki Haley is staying in against the odds, even after losing by 20 points in her home state of South Carolina over the weekend. Haley making an 11th hour pitch to voters today in Michigan here in Grand Rapids. Meanwhile, President Biden is arguably facing his most significant election test yet. While he is all but assured victory in tomorrow's primary, there is a grassroots campaign, including some in the Arab American community, urging voters to choose uncommitted on their ballot. Those behind the effort citing the Biden administration's refusal to call for a ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas war. Now, President Biden does not have any major challengers, but looking ahead to the general election, he can't afford to lose any key votes. And let's take Michigan as a prime example. As we dig into Michigan here, as we zoom in, you'll see the margin of difference. Joe Biden winning Michigan in 2020 by 154,188 votes. So we'll see just how much that Arab American and Muslim majorities in Dearborn and elsewhere in the state really affect that number in the general. Carolyn?
Certainly big points to watch for sure, Brian. Thank you much. Now, some Democrats expect President Biden to cruise to re-election, but there are Republicans who either are excited at the chance to vote Donald Trump back into office or are intrigued by what Nikki Haley has to offer the party. And of course, there are many in our community who tell 7 Action News reporter Sarah Michaels they're not enthused by any of the candidates this year. So, what will they do? Well, tonight she's out and about in Southeast Michigan asking voters exactly that.
This election season, there's a variety of influences driving people to the polls. So we're hitting the road to talk to voices across Southeast Michigan about what's motivating them to vote. What's driving you to the polls this year?
The way the country's been run, I think it's good. I like Biden.
Roland Alston from Farmington Hills tells me that NATO relations are what's driving him to the polls this election season. Not only is he supportive of President Biden's work in office, he says he's supportive of anyone but Donald Trump after the former president was quoted saying he would encourage Russia to, quote, do whatever the hell they want if it attacked a NATO country that didn't pay enough for defense.
Seemed like he's favoring with Russia more than anything else.
Who are you voting for?
Trump.
Over in Roseville, Lisa Draper couldn't agree less. Inflation is driving her to the polls. She tells me if you want to see who the better candidate is, look at your bank account when Trump was in office versus now with Biden.
When we had him, things were a lot cheaper. Now things are not so great.
What do you hope changes if Donald Trump is in office once again?
Cheaper food, cheaper gas, the economy to be easier.
Maybe some hope for everybody. Cindy Wyatt from Harrison Township can't stand the idea of either candidate and a repeat of the 2020 election season. Even though Republican candidate Nikki Haley is trailing far behind Trump, hope for change is driving Wyatt to the polls to vote for Haley. What is it about Nikki Haley that you're encouraged by?
Somebody younger, somebody different.
What do you think of President Biden?
But when I saw him speak, it just seems like he aged quickly and the words that are coming out of his mouth don't make sense.
High school volleyball coach Taylor from Detroit tells me she usually votes Democrat, but recent interviews with President Biden and his abortion policies are driving her to the polls, making her consider voting Republican for the first time. But she tells me she still has more research to do.
It seems like everyone lies. They say what they want to get you to vote, and then when they're in office, it's like, wait a minute, now you said.
They're just scary to me.
What Mark Kempinski from Hamtramck calls nasty politics is what's driving him to the polls. He tells me he's voting for Biden in fear of the divisiveness that he feels Trump causes.
You're standing behind a guy along with neo-Nazis.
So I voted for Biden last election cycle, and I won't be voting for him this cycle.
In Dearborn, Nader DeWood tells me the only presidential party he'd consider voting for this election is independent. His disapproval in America's response to the Israel-Hamas war is driving him to the polls. He's a part of the Abandon Biden campaign, a Michigan Arab and Muslim-based campaign that aims to apply pressure on Biden to call for a ceasefire in Gaza by taking away support from him at the polls.
Who do you think you'll vote for then?
I'm just going to leave the president section blank, or I might do a write-in.
Pick the better with lesser evils.
Remember, Michigan's primary election is Tuesday, February 27th. No matter what is driving you to the polls, this is your opportunity to make your voice heard. In Southeast Michigan, Sarah Michaels, 7 Action News.
Bottom line, don't complain if you don't vote. Thank you, Sarah. We've got a breakdown of what you need to know about tomorrow's primary election, including who's on the ballot, how to know if you are registered, and polling locations. You will find a link right there on our homepage at WXYZ.com. All right, supermarket merger. Kroger's efforts to buy a rival now threatened.
Coming up, why the federal government is now stepping in to stop a proposed merger.
Plus, it is being called the silent killer. Now there's a new way to help manage high blood pressure.
This is the first time we're actually able to treat hypertension with a catheter outside of pills.
Coming up, the groundbreaking treatment right here in Michigan, just approved by the FDA, and who could benefit from it.
The FTC is suing to block a merger between grocery giants.
Kroger and Albertsons had agreed to a nearly $25 billion deal. The FTC argues the deal would eliminate competition and lead to higher prices for millions of Americans.
Now, leaders at Kroger and Albertsons have said that the merger would help them compete with other big rivals like Walmart and Amazon. If the merger goes through, Kroger would achieve the largest acquisition in its history with more than 4,500 stores nationwide.
Wow. Well, nearly 70% of Americans will have high blood pressure at some point in their lifetimes. Yes, I said 70%. For 5 decades, doctors have been treating high blood pressure with pills. But now there is a groundbreaking alternative procedure being studied at Ascension, Michigan. It just got FDA approval and is available for clinical patients not seeing good results with medication, and it may revolutionize treatment in the future. Are you a ticking time bomb and not even know it? We went to Hirschen Salon in Southfield to randomly check blood pressure.
We're going to slide this in through your arm.
We brought in a medical assistant from Heights Urgent Care to get the real deal with the numbers. Now, do you all take good care of your blood pressure, your health? Everybody gets a physical every year?
Yes, twice a year.
Salon owner Rodney Howell says he never has a problem, but the reading told another story.
It's a little high. It's at 174/96.
So imagine walking around feeling fine and suddenly you drop and die from a heart attack.
My father had heart disease and high blood pressure. He died at the age of 40 from a heart attack.
Lou Martin's family has a history of heart disease and high blood pressure, but 50 years ago, no one knew. And just suddenly dropped.
Just suddenly dropped one afternoon.
According to the Center for Economic and Social Research, more than 35% of adults in Michigan have high blood pressure.
Hypertension affects probably 70 to 80 million Americans. It's very prevalent.
That's why for more than 12 years now, Dr. Shukri David has been leading clinical trials along with 12 other centers in the U.S. on different procedures to treat people whose blood pressure cannot be controlled with medication. Why is this so groundbreaking?
This is the first time we're actually able to treat hypertension with a catheter outside of pills.
It's called renal denervation. They use radiofrequency ablation. It destroys the nerves that connect the kidneys to the brain, and that regulates your blood pressure.
Now, this treatment is not going to cure hypertension, but it will make it so that you might not need 3 medications, maybe 2. Or you may not need them in maximal doses, maybe in lower doses.
For Lou Martin, whose blood pressure could not be controlled with medication and was on his way to a 4th pill, this was a trial he wanted to take part in. At what point did he raise a red flag?
When my blood pressure was 165/93 on 2 meds.
A year ago, March, Lou underwent renal denervation.
After the procedure, I was amazed that my blood pressure was in the low acceptable range on medication.
Great news for Lou, but for some of these men, the numbers we saw are a reason to remain vigilant.
I have a doctor's appointment this coming Wednesday, so anything that'll come up, I'll find out soon enough.
Dr. David says high blood pressure is a silent killer. Even if it's mildly elevated over time, it can cause organ damage, blindness, kidney failure, and heart attacks. Know your numbers. You can get your blood pressure checked for free at Heights Urgent Care once a month at your local drugstore, of course, with your doctor. As for renal denervation, Ascension, Michigan is number 2 in the country and one of the busiest and most experienced sites doing this very procedure.
Now, I hadn't even heard of this procedure before. So how long has it been around?
They've been studying it for 12 years, not just at Ascension, but 12 other centers across the country. But they do the most, number 2 in the country. And boy, oh boy, if that works and insurance starts paying for it, it will be amazing for other
That'll
patients.
be the key, right?
Yeah.
Get that insurance to cover
Nice to
it.
have options, though, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
So it sounds like we're in for a wild ride.
It's a strong storm system coming. This again should be more like April rather than February, but we're talking about 2 threats for severe thunderstorm chances late tonight into tomorrow morning. And we'll talk timing a little bit. Then again, tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. Record warmth tomorrow. On the backside of this, it's going to be a 40-mile-an-hour wind and temperatures fall all day Wednesday with some snow chances in the afternoon. This is pretty wild. 50 outside right now in Detroit. In the low 50s in most cases. There are a few 40s on the east side here. The wind's turned off the lakes and rivers a little bit. But here's tomorrow. We could break 2 records the same day. Record low temperature. The highest low temperature is 44 back in 1881. 45 is forecast. The record high temperature tomorrow is 63 back in 76. And we're forecasting 65. So again, with all this warmth coming in, you can see it on the map. It's 90 or so in Dallas. They were at 90 last hour. It's almost 80 in Omaha. We're sitting at 50, should be at 38. So that comes up and comes through. The cold air is waiting, though. That's the backside of that system on Wednesday. So here's the late tonight. About 4 o'clock or so, this starts kicking in the southwest. Here's 6 o'clock in Detroit, moving off to the northeast, and there's 8 o'clock. So the first part of the morning is a concern there. Oh, let me go back one more time and show you the rest of this. And then we have a pretty good break through a good chunk of the day. Midday, we start to get a little sunshine. That just heats things up. And then here comes the evening hours. Again, sweeping through pretty quickly here. I think this is a little late. After 6 o'clock or so, you got to be watching through about midnight. And then that's the second batch. And yes, on the backside, that's snow over Lake Michigan. And we could get some snow showers late on Wednesday. So the threats look like this. 4 to 10 a.m. is the first kind of big target zone tomorrow morning. Severe storms are possible. The threat's going to be stronger winds that could be up to 60 miles an hour and hail that could be to an inch. Now, that's a very small chance, but it is there. And then as we get to the second batch, Tuesday, 6 p.m. tomorrow evening through midnight, this is a much more higher likelihood of problems, and the hail could go to 2 inches. That's really a problem. That would be south of I-94 wind, and can't rule out the possibility of a tornado tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. And then after midnight, things start to calm down. On the backside of this, here's Wednesday with winds to 40 miles an hour, and temperatures drop all day. So tonight is 45 for a low, but the numbers were going to go up overnight, and then tomorrow, again, there's that record 65-degree day. All day long, it's going to be cold wind coming through here on Wednesday. Brad, I'm busy. How about you? How about them Wings, huh?
Cold wind, but how about those hot Red Wings? Patrick Kane making a real difference for this team. We knew there was a chance he could be the old Patrick Kane. I think he's been that and more. The overtime winner, the thrill of it all, and what it means for the Wings going forward, that's all coming up next in sports. The Red Wings had slogans for their playoff runs during the Stanley Cup years. Big banners would be plastered on Joe Louis Arena as you walked up the big staircases into the building. This year's slogan is taking shape naturally. Find a way. That's the message that continued to come out of the locker room. Overtime in Chicago. Patrick Kane finishing on a game-winning goal that'll no doubt be an iconic moment in his Hall of Fame career. The Wings have won 5 games in a row. And even though they struggled through the first 2 periods against the last-place Blackhawks, they found a way. Kane's week in 4 games, he had 3 goals, 3 assists, and 2 game winners. The NFL's draft combine unfolding this week in Indianapolis. Lions GM Brad Holmes has excelled in his first 3 drafts with Detroit, but this year, for the first time since taking the job, he enters the draft without a top 10 pick. We talked this morning on 97.1 The Ticket about the difference in draft prep.
I feel when you're looking at the top 10, it's kind of hard to mess up, in my opinion. You got really good players, and you're trying to decide between Turks and Caicos and Grand Cayman. You know, you're probably not going to be mad at either one. But I think it's a lot more excitement when you're back there on the back end because you got to deep dive it a lot more. You got to really heavily scrutinize it, and it's a lot of fun.
The Lions are re-signing linebacker and special teams captain Jalen Reeves-Maybin to a 2-year deal worth $8 million, that according to NFL Network. Reeves-Maybin stepped up and played on defense late in the season and postseason for the Lions. Tigers hosting the Astros. Riley Green back in the lineup for the first time this spring, and that is a ground out, yes. But that's a good thing because it's the first time he's been in a game since September 1st when he injured himself and had Tommy John surgery. Jack Flaherty on the mound, 10-pitch first inning, 2 strikeouts. He is a big project. They hope rebounds this year on the mound. Good to see that team in action winning 4-0 against the Astros.
Is he left-handed? Yes.
You like it,
I like the lefties.
Good deal. We like the lefties. As always, thanks for watching Action News at 6.
Well, news tonight's next.